Bienvenue tous. Welcome to our international press review in the papers today. Marion Hembest. Marion, you've got your teeth into this main story. Tell us what it's all about. Pardon the pun.
Yes. I don't know, Mark, if you're one of these people that hates going to the dentist, but apparently us Brits, quite often the reason for the fear is actually because the price of a visit is more painful than the treatment itself.
That's if you can actually find a dentist who'll take you onto their surgery as well, because there's such a shortage as well. Carry on.
There is indeed. And The Independent is talking about this subject in great depth.
Yeah.
The price of dental treatment in England is in fact the worst in Europe. It's official according to survey results published in the paper this morning. Now, 9 different European countries were checked out, and Brits who can't register with NHS dentists in the country are now going abroad for treatment because it's become so bad. And now apparently this is the fastest growing type of medical tourism that there is in the UK. 40,000 Brits last year went abroad for their treatment, mainly to Europe and Hungary in particular, but also Asia as well. Now, the difference in the price across the board mainly comes down to dentist fees themselves. They range from 9 centimes a minute in Hungary to up to about €2.88 in England. So quite a difference there.
Can I give you an example? I once had a crown, a cap on a tooth. I had it done, shall we say, in year 1. It cost £30. A few years later, when you're doing it again, they quoted me £300 for the same job.
So
and that's how things change in the UK. It's absolutely ridiculous, the prices they charge. Absolutely ridiculous. And sometimes I've found, personally, the service isn't that good. But there you go.
Well, not a surprise.
Controversial stuff there, controversial stuff. What's next?
Next up, the Financial Times. It's all changed for France's former Prime Minister and Britain's former Prime Minister.
Okay.
Tony Blair is to join JP Morgan, a US investment bank, as an advisor. Now, this is a bit of a break with tradition, the Financial Times tells us. Most former Labour ministers have avoided going into the private sector, choosing to concentrate on writing books, giving speeches, for which they're quite often very well paid. For the Conservatives, it was more common. Margaret Thatcher, we may remember, was a consultant for a tobacco group. Sir John Major, director of Mayflower, the car components and bus company, and chairman of the private equity group. We don't yet know how much this is going to that Mr. Blair is going to be paid for his new role, but it's apparently going to be quite a nice little earner, and there's talk of at least £500,000 a year.
Now, of course, his role as the envoy for the Middle East Quartet is unpaid, so that's
yes.
Obviously he's in the news for that still, but that's
right.
An unpaid position.
And this is on top of that. He's going to keep that role there as well.
Okay,
yes.
Tony Blair, the best leader the Conservatives never had. That's what they say, isn't it? Okay, moving on then.
Dominique de Villepin,
yes,
the French former Prime Minister. Now, recently...
This is ironic, this story, isn't it?
Yeah, he recently appeared before the judges in the so-called Clearstream affair. And now he's going to be joining the judges. I mean, he was accused of being involved in a smear campaign against President Nicolas Sarkozy before he became president, and he's always denied those allegations. But yes, he's becoming a lawyer. He's become a lawyer, in fact, realising a childhood dream. He hopes to open his own practice, legal practice, and deal with international cases.
Maybe he's trying to cut down on his legal fees by representing himself. Who knows? Tell us about this guy who's moved into his IKEA store.
Yes, in America, Mark Malkoff, a New York actor, took IKEA very much at their word with their slogan, which says, "Are you ready to make the most of us?" Yes, he was. His apartment was being fumigated, so he chose to move into his local store in New Jersey. He has his own room there. The staff are letting him use their facilities while he's living there, because obviously the toilets, the bathroom doesn't work in the store itself. But he said that any visitors going to the shop, if they want to go into his bedroom, they'll have to remove their shoes first. No nonsense there.
Fantastic stuff. Marion Hembest there with our informative and entertaining review of the world's press. You're watching France 24. Stay with us.
The battle for the White House rages on. Who will clinch the Republican nomination? Who will be the Democratic contender? Which candidate will replace one of the most controversial presidents in US history? France 24 takes you behind the scenes of a crucial election and takes you through the end of the Bush era. Watch this key event of 2008 on France 24.